guys, we're back with your dear darling little Jumbo. So, all right, so what we're going to do, and this is for everybody at home, we're going to introduce the collar. So this dog only came in on Friday. You're really, with older dogs like this, and I know in the ebook it says do the treats and all that, but everybody has already, you know, you guys have already done that at home for the most part. So you're starting out with the collar. And Brian, as to your question, yes, we have got to hook the leash to the electronic collar, because that's how we're going to teach the dog to move in our direction. If we're not pulling on that collar, as Catalin, my Romanian friend, says, it's not possible to synchronize unless it's hooked to that collar. So as you guys can see, this dog has a history of dragging, pulling, and not coming when he's called, and we have him set up to get him neutered Thursday. And he is a great big dog, so therein is where the problem lies. But he will not come when he's called. He got out in the middle of the road, traffic was stopped, but they still couldn't catch him. He's tried pulling a little bit of that with me, girl. When he goes outside, if he doesn't want to come back in, then he jumps around by the door, so I just leave, and then he doesn't like to be by himself, so he does come in. But we're going to get him all straightened out. So I've got my soundbox collar on. With a dog like this, I may have to use the nick in the beginning. All right, Pappy, you need to go. All right, we're going to have to put Pappy up here probably, because what you don't want is dogs that are going to engage the dog that you have. You know, we like to have dogs around for a distraction, but you don't want dogs that are going to engage. So I've got my soundbox collar. That buzzing sound indicates the pager. So, all right, can you just call her over there and stick her in a cage, Victoria?
Pappy.
So the goal, my initial goal, again, is not to get the dog to heel or anything like that. It's to help him understand that that pager means move in my direction. Indifference is the key in this initial stage. Oh, Butter's the behavior model. I forgot about that. This is actually his grandma. This is how good she is. She goes along and tries to do what you're saying. So you can see this dog doesn't really have any reaction to behavior. The key with this is, you guys, I'm not trying to restrain the dog. I'm not holding it short. I've got my little double grip on the handle right here. And I'm watching the dog. I'm watching what it's doing, even though I'm not making it real obvious. Remember, we're only teaching them 3 basic behaviors, not 3 commands, 3 behaviors. Oh, Bussy, you're getting in the way, Bussy. So, this initial thing is 1, I don't want the leash made tight, 2, move in my direction. Into the pressure of the leash. I'm not trying to say heel. I'm not trying to say after 2 days I can come back and look, it already heals. I can't stress that enough, you guys. That's a big thing on YouTube. Look what I can get it to do in 1 day. It's not the 1 day, it's the long run. I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to keep my arms close to my body. I'm not trying to have a bunch of jerking movements. Resist any temptation to try to encourage the dog, to get the dog to walk beside you, anything. Oh, Butter knows what to do. And I'm, you know, turning, I'm spinning on my heels and turning. And what other thing this dog does, you guys, is he'll pull out of that collar. So he's thinking of that here. I can already tell he's thinking of that. So you're going to have to make sure to put the collar on tight enough, Kathy. Dogs don't just pull out of the collar. People set up situations where they can do that. So. Very, very common with dogs that pull like this one. Once they see that that isn't going to work anymore, that they're going to balk. We've had many, many of them like that, you guys. I don't know if you remember Delbert, the deaf dog. But he would fight that leash. Oh, Jake. Great. He would fight that leash. We'll blurb that part out. You need to anticipate that. I'm not saying to myself, oh my gosh, if he starts pulling, I'm going to be so disappointed. We've talked about that before. They usually only balk for 10 or 15 steps, but if you stop at 5 steps, so luckily one of Jake's attributes is not stamina, because he's so out of shape because he's never been off the leash. And my 45 minutes a day on the elliptical is coming in handy. All right, guys, we're going to be right back, clean up on aisle 3, and we'll be right back with the off-leash recall.